a 2-foot-long sword, and what my next guest does for a living is to swallow all 2 feet of this. Jim Rose is here with his circus Sideshow freaks, and by the way, they've been together a year, and every single time they perform, sold-out crowds in America. So far, we've met the Torture King, who swallowed glass and fire. Wonder what happens on a windy day. Now Jim says we're in for a real treat. What are we going to see next, Jim?
Internal juggling and regurgitation. Regurgitation
Don't touch
is the ability to swallow things to the top of your gag reflex and then expel them at will. We're going to do this with razor blades and thread.
Those are real razor blades. We had everybody in the staff test them before. String rolled up into a small bowl, put it in his mouth. Oh, you gotta understand. This is very hard for me. Oh, Robin. Oh dear. It out of his mouth. Is it stuck? It's stuck? Jim was explaining to me these things take absolutely intense concentration.
Very
Jim,
much so.
The young man who's the piano player is not only a very talented musician, as we've heard, he's one of the marvels as well. Please introduce us to him.
Oh, I'd be happy. Ladies and gentlemen, doing the Wild Man from Borneo act that originated in the 1920s, we've made it a little more current by calling it the human terrarium. Slug the Sword Swallower! Oh, Dolly. We also have Dolly the Doll Lady. Would you come help us with this, please? Would you verify those are, in fact, real, live maggots? Would you verify these are, in fact, real, live crickets? It's a cricket. Lick it. All right. There you go. Okay, they're live. You see them hopping. All right. And worms.
Delicious, huh?
Oh. Delicious. Dolly the Doll Lady is our traveling historian, and she helps out with some of the stunts that we do. Dolly, would you please feed the human terrarium?
I'll be glad to. Come on over here so I can reach it. We'll start out with the worms first.
Oh.
Here we go. Here's a good one.
Oh.
Are they live?
Yes, they're live.
Live worms?
They won't be for long. There is stomach acid.
How do we know that they're not poisonous?
Called poison control.
Here we go, the maggot.
Maggots, ladies and gentlemen, have been known to be able to eat their way right out of the stomach. You'll have to chew them up particularly well.
Ooh, they bite, too.
They bite?
Here, eat that nasty thing.
Oh. Isn't that beautiful? for crickets. Crickets live about 9 months. Exoskeleton, 1/16 of an inch.
Oh, dear.
Oh, there's one that hit the ground. Are you gonna?
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Where'd it go?
Hey, don't eat that. It's been on the floor. Oh. That's right. Wings, antennae, head, thorax, and abdomen, all eaten. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you. Let's take a look at this man's eyes. They look normal enough. Wouldn't you agree? Again, this show's about altering the body, ladies and gentlemen. He's altered the pockets underneath his eyes to withstand hooks, enabling him to lift this gargoyle. Now pay careful attention to the way the eyes expel the hooks. It's like the eyes are saying, hey, these don't belong in here. Beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Sally, I believe you have a sword in your hand.
Yes.
Of course, everything we've done has been examined prior to the show.
It's a sword, all right.
It's a sword. That's a sad part about sword swallowing. A lot of people think they retract. They telescope. That's just not the case. Ladies and gentlemen, the Guinness Book of World Records has outlawed sword swallowing competition due to many deaths. They stopped it in 1987. Down the hatch without a scratch. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes!
Oh, dear. How do you do that? I mean, aren't you going to cut something up inside you?
Well, I started when I was in about 9th grade, and my mom got a little bit worried about me and my practicing, and so she took me to a doctor, and the doctor informed me that passage down is about 1/2 millimeter thick, and the esophagus is an involuntary muscle, and if you happen to puncture it, well, they usually save about 30% of their perforated esophagus cases.
So you could die from doing that if you weren't concentrating enough.
Definitely.
I mean, does your mother ever come to see you perform?
No, she's very, she doesn't like what I do, and she often...
I can't imagine why.
Often tears come to her eyes.
Can you, did the hooks hurt? I mean, I have 30 million questions. Does that hurt when
after the training that I've gone through, is kind of the belief of calluses that build up underneath the eye and underneath the eyeball, and it withstands just about anything.
And you are a musician. You've been playing since you're how old?
About 6 years old.
Dolly, you don't have a microphone, but you were in this. You do? Oh, good. You were in the circus, were you?
Yes, I was on Mills Brothers Circus in the 40s and the 50s. I was Dolly the Doll Lady then. And I would have stayed on that longer, but I met Larry. He was over 6 foot tall when we got married, and he wanted to quit. So I had to quit the circus.
He's 6 foot, and you're how tall?
3'2".
3'2". When we come back, the amazing Mr. Lifto has pierced 9 parts of his body in order to produce amazing feats of strength. You're not going to believe what you're about to see. Stay tuned.